Hello and welcome to the Justin Hamilton podcast. On today's episode, Dave Anthony is back with Dave the World. And as always, everything has happened since I last spoke to him. So there are plenty of places for us to go and plenty of topics for us to discuss. And I feel like it ends on a really positive note. So we talk about a lot of heinous shit, but we do get to a point where there is a celebration of a certain person, and I'll leave you to find out who that person is. So I even, uh, before we started recording, I said to Dave, I'm going to finish on the best thing that I saw online in the last couple of weeks, and I didn't even let him know what it was going to be. So I think you'll appreciate it when it comes along. Uh, you know what? I'll swing by at the end and discuss some of the things that are coming up. But just before I do, a big shout out to everyone who signed up to the newsletter. A lot of people signed up. Really appreciate it. And the next one will be coming out next week. And I'll have some little goodies in there for you. So the fortnightly newsletter is slowly building. And if you would like to sign up, head to my website, justinhamilton.com.au, and you will find all the details on the front page. And when you sign up, make sure that you check for the email that will come to you immediately. That'll be a confirmation email. It might be in your spam box, so keep an eye out for it. Once you click on that, you'll be signed up. Yeah, let's keep it at that for the moment, and I'll come by at the end so I can tell you what's coming up this Thursday on the podcast, what's coming up next week, and yeah, a few little other odds and ends. But for now, let's bring in Dave Anthony. Good to have you back here, Dave, and I am just going to start pretty softly because we haven't spoken for a few weeks. And Woody Allen's wife, Sun Yi, she's turned up in the Epstein Files. And she seems pretty angry about the Me Too movement and seems to be pretty angry about men
Wonder
being
why.
treated poorly. And, well, I've got a question for you.
hmm
Is it possible that she groomed Woody Allen?
Oh God, I saw that and I was just like, and I've never had this thought before, but I was like, oh, poor Mia Farrow. Like she just had to go
Man,
through that, or her family. Like you know, she's got brothers and sisters, but just like that motherfucker just groomed that kid and turned her into a monster,
it's
didn't he?
wild. It's a killer as well because just from a personal point of view, that was his movies with my
Yeah,
mum were real
yeah,
bonding
yeah,
experiences when I was
uh-huh.
young. You know,
Yeah. I
they were
went to those. I went to those with my stepmom and my dad, and
yeah,
for people like us, the age we were, those are very influential because they were sort of outside the mainstream. Like you were in on something
mm,
if you were into Woody Allen movies.
mm, yeah. And they were smart, and they were
Uh-huh.
they were upending traditional motifs. Like, I rewatched Annie Hall about a year ago, and it's like it's amazing how many films take from that and then
Yeah.
mainstream it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. That was probably was that his biggest movie? That was probably his biggest, right?
that was kind of the film that I think he went from being closer to the like an intellectual Mel Brooks, making
Yeah.
Love and Death and
Yeah.
Bananas and things like that. Oh, this is for grown-ups. This film,
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah.
and it won all the Oscars. And Diane Keaton is it's it's for a guy who turned out to be awful. He wrote a magnificent character who has an incredible
Yeah.
story arc, and
Yeah.
she's so wonderful in it. Um, but it's just, you know,
I'm
it's just
just
hard to engage with
I
those films.
I've just had so much now I've just had so much art because there's always that question, can you separate the art from the art? I can't. I like I don't try to anymore. I'm
Mm,
done.
right.
There's been a bunch of bands that have taken a really ugly stance on um, Gaza, and and I just can't listen to their music anymore. And they were a big part of my like growing up, and I'm just like, I'm out. And you ever listen to a Louis C.K. album anymore?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's also it's funny, isn't it? I think when it comes to individuals, I think it's up to the person. If you can still enjoy their stuff, well,
Sure.
that's up to you. And I think it just kind of changes, backwards and forwards with
Hmm.
the Louis C.K. stuff is, like I remember when he not his last tour, but his previous tour before all the everything kind of came out. I did think, wow, half an hour on masturbating is way too long. And then all this news comes out, and you go, oh, geez.
Mm.
Well, I guess you got to write what you know.
I mean, I don't think there's anybody that I've ever seen who was desperately trying to tell people that he was up to bad shit than Louis C.K.
I guess that is true. It was there. It was right there.
Yep.
He was doing his best. You know what? In some ways, we're at fault. If we believed him earlier, we would have helped a lot of people out later.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about the other day how many comedians and other people have just been like, I'm just kind of done with you. I just you also get to an age where you're like, I don't need to have this stuff in my life because there's so much stuff out there that you really I can write people off. We just did a podcast. I can like it doesn't fucking.
No,
There's a lot of people.
I
I don't need anybody.
mate,
No,
I
no.
am, I'm laughing because I'm that guy as well.
Yeah,
And it's like I'll take a lot, and then at some point, one day I'll just go, and the switch
yeah.
is
The
flipped,
switch is gone, and you're
and
like,
then I'm out.
bye.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll put the chairs and tables up. You just go.
I've in my life have just totally cut off friends, and um, one of the things people are always like, yeah, but just over that one thing. I'm like, no, no, it wasn't. It
No.
was a build, and that one thing was like, dokie doke.
Yeah.
But I was like forgiving a lot of stuff, and then I
Yeah.
stopped forgiving it. And
Yeah.
I think it's that way with art too, right? Where you're just like, oh yeah, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I hear some bad stuff, and then you're like, all right, I'm out.
Yep. Thank you. It's funny. It's often the ones the hardest ones to kind of get your head around are the ones who sell themselves as being an ally, or for a lack of
Hmm.
better word, a good guy. I think we maybe discussed this before. But never trust a man who wears a T-shirt that says "I am a feminist."
Absolutely. All those guys always turn out to be fucking creeps. They always
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear the shirt. You can just be one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, and those guys are always like out in front. You're just like, yeah, what are you up to? What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah. Just treat women well, mate. You don't have
Yeah,
to.
there's that.
I treat women well, do you?
Okay.
It was interesting. The author Neil Gaiman just kind of
Oh, that's a
popped his
bummer.
head.
Wasn't that a bummer?
Mate, it is a super bummer, and
That one was rough.
I met him once as well, and he was a delight.
Well, because he's such a like he's what we were just talking about, which is that like he just throws in, trans people into his stuff. So for years, like
For
he just
years.
throws in people who are, minorities and have a hard time and just throws them in his art and doesn't really talk about it. And there they are, and they're just people, which is what you want, right? That's
Right.
what everyone's looking for. And then you're like, really? Even you, dude?
Yeah. Yeah, he was so ahead of his time
Yeah.
with throwing trans characters in that
Hmm.
he was getting knocked for something he wrote in the early 90s not being
Yeah.
specific enough. And it's like, mate, he was like, I know things have changed, but you can't. He was doing his best back then with what he knew, but it was
Yeah.
you like reading from afar and knowing a little bit of behind the scenes stuff through a couple of mutual friends, it does seem like uh, it feels like he might have had some issues and he kind of married the wrong person who encouraged all those
Well,
issues.
he that was always a weird one because when he married her, everyone was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, didn't make sense.
Yeah, because she's not a good person.
Yeah. Yeah, mad for raising money for not delivering anything, right?
Yeah,
That's
that
one of
was the
them.
big thing. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
but he's popped his head up and he said that there's been these journalists who have looked into it and it hasn't, there's more truths to come out. And, I was reading it and
Mm.
going, well, I guess that's what you have to do. And then he said, I've got a new book coming out. I was like, "Well, don't
Oh,
sell the book at
buddy.
the end. Don't sell the book at the end. Like, just don't, just write for a while and don't,
I mean,
like,
honestly, you could just put it out under another name if you want to be creative and fucking write. There's tons of things you could do, but that's not when you drop the my book's coming out. Shit.
no. Like, what are you doing? It, One of the interesting things that has been a positive in the last few weeks has been the amount of ordinary people who have turned out to be borderline genius journalists who have been
Yeah.
finding things on the Epstein files. There is one woman
Hmm.
in particular who keeps saying, I'm not a journalist. But now and again, they'll put up a photo and they'll have the black box there so you can't see the
Hmm.
face. So then I just look at the information and I do a Google image search. It's this person. And look, it's this person. And then, this is why she's getting upset because it's her. And it's there is there's a part of me that is kind of excited by everyone becoming that hive mind. And
Yeah.
once upon a time they were just ruining Westworld, but now they're coming together to
Can I just can I just put out there that I think Westworld ruined Westworld?
mate. The look, the problem with Westworld was the first season was really good, and you can't. If people work it out, that means you're telling your story properly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
because people can
yeah,
work it out. Like,
yeah,
you don't try and get so tricky that people can't work it out. But the
yeah,
reason people can't work it out is it's now incoherent.
yeah, yeah. It's always weird to me when people just do this sudden jarring shift, and you're like, "Wait, what do you?" Heroes is like that. The first season of
Yeah.
Heroes was. I mean, this show's great, and the next season, and then it was like two seasons later, you're like, "So everyone's bad and good? What's happening? Who do I
Yes.
root for?"
Yeah, that's right. The first season of Heroes ended in a way that you went, well, I am locked in.
Yeah,
And then,
you were not locked in
I
after
was
that.
locked out.
Turns out, no.
No, I flicked another switch and I closed some more doors and I was done. But yeah, it's been fascinating to see these people going through the files, finding
Hmm.
stuff, etc.
Hmm.
Um, People do need to discern the difference between someone just being mentioned and someone
Hmm.
doing something terrible, though. Like,
Yeah, I mean, because like Whitney Cummings is mentioned, and she's never done anything terrible with kids, just her comedy.
right, you almost held it. You almost held it. You almost delivered it perfectly, but I saw the smirk start and I thought
I
we've lost
rushed it
him.
a little bit. I rushed it a little bit. I rushed it.
But yeah, it was like one of the headlines was Timothy Chalamet's in the Epstein files, and it was like I don't know. By the time you read it, it was like I'm going to see a Timothy Chalamet movie. You went cool. That's not
Yeah,
the
there.
that's not the
Yeah, that's
same.
not. There's ones in there that are like, I'm going to go eat a baby with Timothy, and then you're like, that's the one of the bad ones.
Yep, yep. When you're eating babies, that is
Not good.
it's not good. It's
Have
not
you
good.
guys have you guys had anybody there in Australia? Has anybody been taken down like
Ah,
in
not
other countries? I don't think you have, right?
no, no. No, and it's a bit disappointing
Yeah.
because there's some people I really hate that I would love to see turn in
Yeah. You
it.
have some terrible people in
Oh,
Australia that
awful.
really, yeah.
And they're not turning up at all. I'm devastated.
No. No, not at all.
So I'm not letting you off the hook. You're still an asshole.
Yeah, I want it's always good when it's someone surprised and you're like, really? Like Chomsky was a great one. You're like,
Oh,
oh,
Jesus.
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Remember when you wrote that book about how there's an evil cabal of fuck.
Oh, man.
Never mind.
I thought you were talking it down.
Uh,
There is
yeah.
there is the classic of it is the old Dark Knight quote of, die a hero, live long enough to become the villain. And a lot of these
Mhm.
guys, it's like they do the good fight for a long time, and then out of nowhere they go, well, I've only got a few years left. I'm gonna be the
Yeah.
worst.
I'm gonna be the most terrible. The greatest one is Bill Gates because I've been sitting around I feel like I was alone for years going, we all remember that he's a terrible person, right?
Right. Yeah.
He's been terrible since forever.
Yeah.
And then everyone was just like, Bill Gates is cool. And you're like, no. And
No.
now it came back around. I'm like, yes, okay.
Yes.
Everybody's back on board, right? He's bad.
Mate, he started doing all that philanthropy and,
Yeah.
buying networks and papers and,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know,
get like donating money to like the Guardian and MM is like literally giving them money.
yeah.
Like the shit that he did. There's a really good citations needed episode on him, and you're just like, wow. I mean, he just bought the news,
Mhm.
just bought him
Yeah.
off,
Yeah. It's been wild watching his ex-wife. And
right?
it's
Well,
like,
man. Well, now you know why. I mean,
yeah.
Jesus, who? First of all, who in the fucking world is having sex with sex workers without condoms?
Oh,
You shouldn't be out having sex with anybody you don't know without fucking condoms. Like, what are you
yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
And then apparently multiple Russian sex workers.
Yeah.
Dude, you're the richest man alive. You're fucking married. Put on a condom.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like it's pretty basic that this
Yeah.
this is a possibility that might happen. But I guess why would you miss out on that sweet ass pleasure when you can just try and slip your wife some antibiotics in her drink when she's
Trying to
not looking?
explain. I was trying to explain to my wife what he did, and she's like, wait, what? I go, and then he was trying to get he was trying to get secret antibiotics.
So funny. Hey, look over there.
Oh my
Plop
God.
plop.
But by the way, if a company came up with that, you know how much money they'd make?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's there's no doubt a company, Dirty Dog Productions, which has read that and gone, we can make a killing. We can make some serious coin off the back of this.
My new company, Down Low Antibiotics.
Plop it in a drink, she'll never know. And deep down, she'll thank you for it.
Thank you for it. Yes, she will.
Yeah. Yeah, the all of these people, like the fact that Jeff Bezos would gladly fund a $35 million documentary about Melania Trump, then pay what, a couple of million in costs for the Washington Post is,
Mhm.
that kind of tells you everything as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I saw it. I had to.
Yes. And what's give me a review. Just cook.
Well,
There's a
the first 20 minutes.
yeah.
First of all, there's so much walking and getting into cars that you cannot believe what's happening. The movie, I'm guessing if you cut out, it's 20 minutes of her just walking to a car and getting in it because there's no substance. But the first 20 minutes, and you don't know why it's happening, is because she's getting ready for the inaugural and she has tailors there and tailors helpers and whatnot, and she's getting her outfit ready and telling them little cuts to make and with the hat, with the smaller band and all this stuff. And you're just like watching it, and then you realize, oh, they're trying to show that she's decisive. They really are. They're trying to show that she makes decisions and she makes good decisions.
Right.
It's the craziest thing when you realize what's going on. You're like, they literally thought this was a good idea,
Wow.
like in a film. And so I'm not kidding. That's the first 20 minutes of the movie. That's
Wow.
just cutting parts of a dress.
Yeah.
And then it's, it's, you're really trying to, first of all, you're wondering if she's just completely drugged up,
Mm.
which would make sense, based on her life, and how she got there, sex worker.
Mm.
She was 100% a sex worker, and
Mm.
that's how they met. But she is lifeless.
Mm.
And there's a really jarring part because, of course, she has a woman come whose husband is being held hostage in Israel. Because why wouldn't that be part of the movie? It
What?
doesn't fit in at all. And she just sits down and talks to this woman whose husband is being held hostage in Gaza, and you're like, what what's going on? And the woman is telling her, and she has no there's no life in her face. She never has life in her face. It's just a stone. I mean, she's had tons of surgery, but on top of that, there's nothing happening behind the eyes. It's
Right.
just it's just empty and vacant, and there are no complex thoughts.
Right.
And she's just like, well, Donald is working on that. And you're like, okay, yeah.
So,
It's
wow.
it must be shocking to come to her with like an actual issue that you're upset about, and
Yes.
it nothing.
Right.
I mean, Baron, I told my wife this because my wife has a PhD in psychology,
Mm.
and she goes, "Holy shit. A dad that is a crazy narcissist and a mom that is like dead inside is the formula to make a monster."
Right.
And
Yeah.
when Baron comes on screen, you go, "Oh God." And like
Right.
literally me and my buddy I saw it with looked at each other and were like, we have to stop him. Like, what that was our first thought. Like, we both were like, this guy has to be stopped immediately.
Right. Right. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? When something bad comes along, things don't revert back to being good.
No,
You've just set a new bar for terrible.
right. That's right. That's
Uh,
correct. Totally.
Yeah. And then, that inspires people to crawl over it.
Yes.
You know, like there's a genuine part of you that wishes that Bush was back in. What a crazy sentence, but
I know it's really insane.
it is a thing that crosses your mind. So
It does.
so that happens at the halfway point.
The no, I don't even know. There's no halfway point.
Mm.
It just meanders. I guess the whole idea is like getting ready for the inaugural, and then like what her days are like, and then having the inaugural,
Mm.
and then till the end of that day, and then it's over basically.
Yeah, right.
And it's just like it's really the most vacant human being I've ever seen in my life. And the real crazy thing is like, so they're right-wing populists, right? Which is
Mm.
fascism. Um, but they don't really understand what that means because it's just a movie about opulence.
Mm.
It's just a vast, gross display of wealth. And even his fans, I think, at some point would be like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I
This is
feel weird."
yeah, this is not jibing with the message that you're sending me.
Yeah, at all. It's
Mm.
it's it's really it's a very off-putting movie. And have you ever heard of Vic Berger? He works with Eric from Tim and Eric,
Oh, okay.
who has that Office show. But Vic has been making videos for a while that are really great, and they're hard to describe. Like it is a very unique Vic style. And Chapo Trap House gave him money to make a film. It's about a half hour documentary type thing about Mar-a-Lago and the
Right.
parties that happen there. And I recommend everybody watch it because it gives you an insight to what these people are that is like it's crazy. It's like this is like a sort of human circus that you can't even imagine until you see that documentary and you're like, oh, this is like all of the worst people and not like evil people, but also just like the hucksters and the conmen and the
Mm,
all the people in the business world that you don't, the people that annoy you, the car salesman, like all the people have all come together,
mm,
all those people, and they're at this place and they're in power. And it's so weird to watch. It's
yeah.
really Vic Berger. Just Google it. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, right. Yeah, isn't it? That's an interesting way of putting it, isn't it? It's become a haven. This whole
Yeah.
era for snake oil salesmen, and
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know,
Like if you have a cure for droopy eye, you're there trying to get him to, sell it at the thing. Like that's
yeah,
all it is. It's like anybody who's got the craziest idea
yeah,
of how they can make money, there they are.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting seeing the knock-on effects of this as well. Like the Pam Bondi stuff was
Oh,
like it's so wild that and you're also seeing it with is that Janine Pirro these
I thought you were gonna say Garofalo.
no, that'd be a turn that no one saw coming. I've had it up to here with all my lefty thinking. But it's like they are, because people say that they're acting insane. I saw Piro did this thing where she tried to indict six Democratic lawmakers who,
Yeah,
and you know, and the courts just went, "What are you doing? Like this is just not
yeah,
going to happen." But both of them are they're performing and they're performing for Trump. So it doesn't
right.
matter that they're insane, and it doesn't matter that everyone in the room is going, what are you doing? It's they know that he's watching, and so the
Yeah,
performance is for them, and that's all that matters.
right. That's it. That's all. That's literally all it is. But what's really weird about it is that um, they're acting like this moment is permanent, and this is such a fleeting, passing moment
Mm,
in time. This is absolutely not going to stay this way. It
mm,
could get worse. Odds are they're fucked at
yeah,
some point.
yeah,
But we could also be fucked at the same time from whatever replaces him. But they're very much a transition to something else.
right, yes, and
Probably. And then I'm talking about like Peter Thiel and those guys. They're a transition.
yeah,
And they don't realize it. They're really fucking they're what I took away from what she was doing is like, oh, she's really stupid. She's actually just
yeah,
dumb.
yeah.
She has no concept of self-preservation.
Like none. Like that moment when the guy just said, you just lied under oath.
Yeah, yeah. I
like
mean,
like anyone with any kind of sense of mild decency would feel, oh, that's fuck, that
yeah,
hurts. But she's just
no,
like,
no
what?
shame whatsoever. And she's got her little burn book and she's going through it like, well, this is what you did. And everyone's just like, nobody cares.
Yeah. Why aren't we talking about the Dow index? Because
Yeah.
that's not
I
the
mean,
point.
my favorite was when she said Culver City is this little like area in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And it's fairly wealthy. It used to just be a studio, like, and then they sold off parts. But like, I've worked there, I've lived there,
Mm,
I have friends that have lived there. It's just a little tiny townish in the middle of LA.
mm.
And she brings it up like, well, it's some woman. She's like, well, you are the congressperson for Culver City, and it's like it'd be like saying you're the congressperson for Fitzroy.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just like, what's happening right now?
Yeah. It's like she's doing a sick burn, but
Yes, but it's
got
not a
no
sick
traction.
burn.
Yeah. I did see there was a voting against the tariffs, and that three Republicans crossed the floor. And when something like that happens, you would guess that there were other Republicans who would have done it, but were too chicken shit
Yeah,
to go across.
yeah,
So that would be
yeah.
a level of potential
He's
optimism.
Well, he's definitely. annihilating the economy,
Yeah.
but I think he's annihilating it on purpose because they want to, buy up the scraps.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're a Republican and you're anywhere near the northern border, your constituents are going bankrupt because
Mm.
Canada's not spending any money whatsoever. And
Yeah.
that's how they make all their money is like trade from Canada, people visiting from Canada.
Yeah.
And that's gone. So any congressman that's from up there that's Republican is fucked.
Hmm.
Just totally fucked.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's border on the southern border, they're being completely overrun by ICE. And those people who have voted Republican forever are like, oh, you've lost Southern Texas forever.
Yeah. Wow. That's a heck of a sentence.
It really is. It really is. Here's the funniest thing. So Republicans went in Texas and they decided to redo all of the voting, districts. So
Mm.
gerrymander it. And they just, for some reason, decided that all of these Hispanic people would be conservative from now on because a lot of them did switch to Trump.
Mm.
But now they went and rounded up every brown person that they could see. And so they essentially gerrymandered. So they're going to lose seats because they just thought that this group of Hispanic Latinos would totally switch forever to them. And
Wow.
they're probably going to lose 3 seats in Congress just by what they did
Yeah.
because they're so confidently stupid. They're really dumb fucking people.
Yeah. That's almost the part that is like there's something so disdainful of someone who's a fucking idiot acting like they know everything.
Yes. Well, we don't have to get specific about Joe Rogan, but I understand the point you're making, but I just wouldn't bring up his name like
Well, it seems
that.
seems like he's even getting some doubt.
Oh, he's fucked.
Yeah, he's almost like, whoa, wait a minute.
He's got all these people who were so hard on it. I think that it's starting to dawn on them like, oh, this is gonna change pretty quickly, and these are bad things, and the
Hmm.
blowback might not be good for me.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, they're having the only guy who hasn't figured it out yet is Theo Vaughn because he might be the dumbest person alive.
Right.
But like Rogan is starting, you can see the wheels are clicking a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Wendy Cummings, Schultz, all these like big names. You can see the little hamster wheels going like,
Well, I was talking to someone in the industry last week, and I was saying one of the things that people underestimate with stand-up comedians is that part of their main important skill set is the ability to read the room. So,
yeah,
and that's why we sometimes see, we see some comedians that we know what they really like, say some really incisive political commentary on
hmm
stage, and you think that
hmm
is astute and very funny and well said, and that is not you. But
hmm
so of course they're starting to have a look around and they're starting
yeah.
to read the
Read the
room and
room, and the room
just
doesn't look
shift to
good.
the left a little bit, just a little shuffle, a little bit of outrage.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this isn't Bush to Obama. This is like you're forever scarred. Like
Yeah.
you have the scarlet letter on your fucking forehead.
Yeah. Yeah. But, a big T right in the middle of the forehead,
Yep.
right there.
Yep. It's not going away. It's for the rest of your life. You're going to hear it for the rest of your life. You will hear it.
Something that I got addicted to, which I have to say, even at my most outraged, I'm not a violent person, but I have been addicted to watching clips of racists just get knocked out, and it has been
It's kind of fun,
delicious.
right?
Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
like
fun. It's
violence, but
fun.
seeing someone antagonize someone to the point
Yeah.
that they get
Get
knocked
rocked.
out.
Yeah.
There was one guy filming this white dude in front of his kids, just yelling out the most hateful shit from his mouth, and then some Hispanic guys come from out of nowhere, knocked him down,
hmm
and It was the second time he went to kick him in the head. The guy filming went, "That's enough." And that,
Yeah, I mean, if they're not going to have shame over it, they're gonna get rocked. They just are.
yes,
People. That's how this works. Like the whole healthy shame thing, the shame for your evil thoughts not coming out of your mouth. That's so you don't get punched in the face.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's how it works.
yeah. Feel embarrassed. Like, feel embarrassed that
Yeah,
you're saying this. Feel embarrassed that you're yelling at someone who's just walking along, minding his own business with his wife, and you're in front of your kids. Like, what are you doing, mate?
yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, I don't, it's easy to kind of, uh, you know, be looking at all of this and let's not forget we had some pretty exciting moments down here in Australia when
Yeah,
the
you've had
Israeli,
yours.
oh yeah, Isaac Herzog doing his tour and you know
Mm,
some people protesting and what I love about it is that and you watch the footage and there's my favorite bit of footage was there was a cop on a push bike yelling at just a normal looking guy with potentially his daughter, and he falls off his bike and stumbles over his bike, really in an incredibly embarrassingly
mhm.
uncoordinated way, which suggests that just riding normally is probably pretty difficult. And then he just lays into this guy,
Yeah,
and
embarrassed and yeah.
yeah, and you know, it's crazy that the Nazi rallies seem to be so much more peaceful. They're a lot quieter.
Well,
Some people are yelling out to them, but
that's what's happened. That's what we've been having here for, I mean, essentially since the Gaza, the whole thing began, we've been just inundated with peaceful protesters getting absolutely beat up and attacked, and Nazis just walking around peacefully.
like it makes no
That's what it's
sense.
been.
But it speaks to the foundations of white power, doesn't it? So you might
Yes.
not intellectually equate yourself with the Nazis, but it's still white power, and you still
Hmm.
these people in these positions still feel more comfortable on some kind of deep subconscious emotional level than, you know, seeing some dudes just want to get down and pray.
Yeah, right. But you can't have a bunch of Muslims in the street praying, or you gotta attack them, right?
Yeah, you gotta teach them a lesson, introduce them to, other condiments like pepper.
As I was watching it and I was like, I wonder because it's such a complicated. So I mean, essentially, we watched for 2 years Biden fervently take the side of Israel, even though Israel wanted him to lose the election.
Mm,
So essentially, they teamed up with the guys who wanted to undercut them,
mm,
and then he lost the election.
mm.
And I know I asked David, oh boy, David Rose, is that his name? Comedian, Australian comedian. Let me look up his name really quick. David, he is he's Jewish, he's Australian, but he wasn't like raised Jewish. David Rose, yeah.
Right. Yep.
Um, and I was trying to figure out what the situation down there is, and he said, it's sort of the same in that the Labor Party is sort of heavily entwined with Israel a bit, and
Mm,
and the Zionist sort of aspect of it all. And it's interesting that you guys had uh, a large bit of people fleeing the Holocaust came to Australia. That's
mm.
interesting. That it
Yeah.
all flavors it. It all flavors
Yeah.
this now a little bit. But like it's the same thing. The a lot of those Israelis are conservatives and they want the Labor Party to lose, but then the Labor Party works with them. So it's the same thing
Yeah.
that Democrats did. It's the same sort of model where you go, okay, but they hate you, but
Hmm.
you're going to work with them and they'll undermine you. The
Hmm.
protests undermine them. Everything that they do, the Herzog thing undermines them. They're essentially working for the right while it's such a crazy thing because it's all at that point it's all mixed up because you have all these sort of moderate or left wing Jews, but on Israel, they're over to the right. And so the
Hmm.
whole thing, the whole ideological spectrum just gets sort of shattered.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And nobody knows how to react. And it's probably been uh Albanese, who's a pretty good politician, like a pretty smart politician, seems to have had his pants around his ankles a little bit on this one and
Hmm.
has been
Yeah.
more reactive than I've probably seen him while he's been in a position of power. It's also yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes because the Liberal Party here just voted out their first, female leader who, to be honest, wasn't doing a great job. But there is fear within the Liberal Party that, from the women's side of things, that it's going to turn back into the boys' club,
Mm.
and it'll be interesting to see.
Well, yeah, it will. Of course it will.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, that's a fact, and it'll be interesting to see how they define themselves against all of this, while also doing their
Hmm.
best to try and pick up those people that have gone to One Nation and the Pauline
Oh,
Hans's
right.
politics.
Yeah. That's still around. Oh my God.
They've surged, you know.
Oh, they have? Of course they
Yeah,
have.
yeah. All of this stuff comes down to lack of education, doesn't it? Like this is all grassroots issues where education systems fail and people get spat out into the world just inarticulate about the broader issues and their own challenges, and places like One Nation can come along and just suck you in.
Yeah, I mean it's education, but it's also, economic situations,
Mm.
rent,
Oh, yeah,
basic necessities. Like
yeah.
when they start going up and the left doesn't have an adequate answer because they're just being dumb,
Mm.
then the right acts like, but fascism, it's right-wing populism,
Mm.
so they have answers, and those answers are always like, stop the brown people, like, you know what I mean, like that's where they go with all this shit, like
Yeah,
you will have everything you want if the brown people just go away, and that is essentially addressing economics, whereas the left is like, what if we cut the bank interest rates 0.5%? And you're like, it's not what,
yeah,
just give people stuff that they need. Get the rents down. Like, figure it the fuck out.
yeah, yeah. Just make people, not spend $1.90 on a fucking lemon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, people just want to be, I've said this so long with this fucking Trump rises. People just want to go to fucking work
Mm.
and be able to have time to come home and see their kids and hang out or go to a fucking movie and not have to just be stressed and working and all the fucking time.
Mm.
And it just gets more and more stressful. And they're like, how come Trump's rising? You're like, because people can't afford to do anything anymore and they're
Yeah.
mad.
Yeah. Yeah. They're mad. They're stressed. If they were being honest with themselves, they're scared.
Yeah.
And, this is where all of this kind of comes to the fore. I was reading about how Canada managed to deal with their rental crisis, and it was like, oh, this is interesting. I wonder how they did it. And then, from what I was reading, they essentially cut taking people into the country, and I went, oh, well, that's well, good on them. Well, jolly good. Well done. You solved
I
that
mean,
problem.
one of the one of the biggest problems in Western societies, I know for sure America, and I would assume it's Australia, but it's definitely England. The developers control everything.
Yes. Yeah.
They're really running the politicians and locally for sure,
Yeah.
and they just control everything. And if they're in control, they don't want prices of rent coming down. Like
Yeah.
they have no fucking interest.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the issue because you watch all this stuff and you're like, well, build public housing
Yeah. Right.
because everyone's like, well, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. Like, why don't you just fucking build public housing?
Yeah.
Build it all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Act like it's a fucking emergency that it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Act like it's an emergency and build public housing all over the place.
Yeah. And
Prices will come down.
yeah, and some of you politicians, maybe you can just make a little less off the rentals that you've got as well. You know, it's funny. All of this stuff, with the protests went down last Monday, and so there were helicopters overhead. Like it was pretty.
Yeah.
I met my friend in the city, and you could feel violence in the air, and
Hmm.
and then I was like, well, probably a good idea for us to get out of here, and we thought, well, you know what, we deserve to have a good time, and we haven't seen each other in ages. Let's just have a really good time together and hanging out. So we watched the Super Bowl, and
Mm.
that kind of made me wish I was out in the violence. that was that
It
was
was
one of
so bad.
that was
It
one
was
of the
so
worst
bad.
games I've ever
It
seen.
was really terrible. It was really terrible. It was just like I just like so bad.
There's nothing worse than I have no love for the New England Patriots, but about halfway through the second quarter, man, I felt bad for Drake May, and I
Yeah.
like he's going to be fine, but I just
Yeah, he'll
was
be
like,
fine.
oh, this is not going to get any better,
No.
and this is just, and this is an existential nightmare for this young lad. Like it'll
Yeah.
be like to the extent that you go, well, I can't wait for the next season to start because I'm going to be watching this guy closely. Does he come back better than ever, or is he the new Mac Jones?
I'd never forget do you know who Dan Marino was?
Yeah.
So Dan Marino, I'm a 49er fan. Dan Marino was on the Miami Dolphins and they played in the Super Bowl. And it's one of the biggest crushings in Super Bowl history. It's like 64-14. It's like some crazy score.
Yeah.
And one of the quotes that came out was one of the 49ers linemen were laughing because they sacked him again. And he said to him, he was like, they said he was almost crying, going, "Are you trying to break my leg?" And and you just think about that. It's just like, yeah, it is a defining moment for you as like that quarterback guy because it's devastating.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's totally devastating.
It's also not their fault if the line can't hold the
No,
defense
it's
back.
not.
That's not their fault, but they're the ones that it's all aimed at. And watching
Yeah.
watching that lad go down again and again, and sometimes he was just standing there, and like we were sitting here going, "Oh, just run, mate. Just do anything." Just,
and then and then he was just throwing crazy passes like just he was
yeah,
just so poor
yeah.
guy.
But it wasn't that
But those are
exciting on the other
very
side.
but those are very boring football games. When
Yes.
that happens, it's just boring. Well, they're both really good defenses, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
never a good football game. That's the thing that I am convinced that the NFL is fixed in a way that they always try to do whatever they can to make the game as close as possible at the end of the game.
Right.
Which is easy to do when there's a lot of running and throwing but when the defenses are both really tough, it's really hard to do that.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I really enjoy NFL, and I think I've told you the first Super Bowl I ever watched was Montana and the Drive against Cincinnati when
Oh
you know
yeah.
and I went, I'm in, and that's my guy, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
my
yeah. Well,
team.
that was a good one. That
You
was
know,
I just told my son I was just like the 49ers had a football player who got hurt and at halftime said, just cut off the end of my finger so I can go out and play again
oh, was that Ronnie
for the
Lott?
rest of the game. So
Yeah,
they cut off the end of his finger because his finger was smashed. And he's like, well, just cut it off. I want to go play the rest of the game. Like that team was completely insane. That was our first Super Bowl. And that was the first time any team I ever followed won anything big. And I remember I went outside in the third quarter and it was like there was nobody outside.
Oh yeah.
The whole it was like a small town, but it was just nobody anywhere.
Yeah. Everyone's glued to that set.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, this was, even last year was a thrashing, but it was still exciting to watch, you know, Patrick Mahomes run for his life.
Oh, that's always fun.
And then the Bad Bunny performance was,
Oh my God. Man.
well, there's something very interesting, knowing the positions of power that all the white guys hold who own teams, and
Hmm.
I think the New England guy Robert Kraft turns up in the Epstein Files.
Oh
That's a
yeah,
shock,
yeah.
knowing his history. And then it's interesting that they ran Colin Kaepernick out of the league,
Right?
and then they put on these, Jay-Z, and they put on Kendrick Lamar, and they put on Bad Bunny, and it feels like it is a tactic in
It is
in
a
a
tactic.
sport full of tactics. We'll do this, and then look, we're all right. We're
I
on your
mean,
side.
it's that, but it's also like the Bad Bunny thing especially was so the football game gets whatever, Super Bowl gets 150 million watching it or something.
Mm,
When when Liverpool just played Man City, just a regular season game, 750 million people watched. So that's the goal, right?
right.
Get Spanish speaking
Yes.
world to jump
Yes.
on board. That's why they had Bad Bunny because they want
Yes.
to expand to the world.
Yeah.
Um, man, it was such a good. I couldn't understand a word he said, and it was such a good fucking good
Yeah.
fucking show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think halftime. I always think they're just dumb,
Yeah.
but man, that guy made a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Made a
Uh,
point.
and also,
We're the
thank
workers, motherfuckers.
yeah, and thank goodness for him for some life in the experience. The NFL's definitely expanding. As I texted you, the 49ers and I think it's the LA Rams are coming to
Oh,
play in Melbourne.
it's so bad. It's gonna kill their. They're gonna that flight back from going to Australia is not as bad, but the flight back, like you're fucked for days. I don't know
Yeah.
how many days are gonna get off after that
Yeah.
game, but it really fucks you up.
Yeah. You got to give them a bye, right? The following week.
Yeah, you have to, right?
Yeah.
Because some some will be over it quick, but it'll take a lot longer,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know. But
Yeah.
also like why us? I mean, I get it. It's an English speaking place, right? You guys are sports crazy. It kind of makes sense, but man, that is so far away.
Yeah. Yeah. And kind of it makes sense that it's Melbourne, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think as soon as I texted you, you just wrote back, "Well, our season's fucked."
Where are they going to do it at the M?
MCG.
They are going to do it there.
Yeah.
How? Okay.
I don't know.
Is
I
is it? It's not during AFL season, right? Those are
no,
totally different
no,
seasons.
AFL will
So
be finished.
so I wonder what they're going to do with that field.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting because I guess it'll have to be after the AFL season before the Christmas Test match cricket series. So
You
yeah.
guys love your big round places, but it's not built for it's a rectangle. It's
Yeah.
not, I don't know, like because if the rectangle's here, so then
Mm,
the best seats are where? Like
yeah.
if you're at the half line, now you're way far away. And if you're in the end zone, you're in the end zone, and that's not good either. Like it's just if for a live spectator sport, a big round thing is not, not
Yeah.
the best way to go.
It's not really helpful. No, I did think,
No.
oh, I should go to that. And then you said, I think this is a better TV sport. And I was like, yeah, thanks, Dave. You've just saved me a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been to football games and I've just decided a long time ago. And then my son went to a game and he's just like, it's just not as good as on TV. I'm like, no,
No.
it is not at all. Go to a hockey game. That's what you
Yeah.
want to see.
Ice hockey live was a
The best.
revelation.
The best.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like fucking TIE fighters coming on and off
Yeah.
the sides, and that continuous movement and being able to follow the puck so much
Yeah.
closer was like, wow. Like now I emotionally get it.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
AFL's good live. Like I like that live.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's so much
Baseball.
weird movement going that
Yeah,
it
that you
kind
want
of,
you got to see it all.
yeah, sometimes when it's
Yeah.
on TV, you can be like, oh, there were people down there. Okay, that's cool. Um, hey, I should let you go, but I have to tell you that I saw that clip of your son hurling that ball
Oh
like a
yeah.
cannon to get out. What was that? Some kid trying to steal a second base?
That was the fastest kid on their team trying to steal second.
Wow.
Very good team too. They beat that team, but that team's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Finn has a it's called the drop time. So it's the time when you catch the ball to when you throw it, it reaches second.
Yeah.
And he has a major league pop time.
It was good. It was
Yeah.
really good. I watched it a couple of times. So because the first time I watched it, I missed it.
Yeah.
That's how quick it
Yeah.
was. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's very
I read what you
fast.
posted and I looked and I went, oh, it's already happened. I'm going to watch that again.
He's also really he's really good at picking people out, but there's also when a guy takes a lead at first
Yeah.
and now the whole team like gets giddy when there's a guy at first because they're just waiting for Finn to throw the guy out
Yeah. Right.
because he's really smart in that he watches and lets them get really comfortable
Yeah.
and just doesn't pay attention to them and then he just rifles it over there and they're like, "What?"
Yeah. Great. That's so
Yeah.
cool. It was
It's
because
pretty fun.
well, we've talked about it, but I hadn't seen it in action, and so to see that ball fucking fly so quickly was
It's pretty
wild.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. And he's always done that since he was a kid. He's just had that. He's just really fast at getting the ball down there. But he's gotten better because now he's getting like all the little technical advanced things that you can do to shave off 0.01 seconds. And there's still stuff he can do. Like that's going to be faster next year. There's still things he knows that he needs to do
Yeah.
to make it even faster.
Yeah. Keep posting it. It's good.
Yeah, I will
It's
for
fun to
sure.
watch.
I've never filmed those before, and I just started putting a camera up to film them. So I'll get more of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, just before you go, I'm interviewing Michael Oken, who is an author and screenwriter, and I follow him online, and he does breakdowns of movies and a film that I had a typical Kubrick experience with Eyes Wide Shut, where the first time I saw it, I went, "What was that about?"
Yeah,
And then,
yeah,
and then for some reason, like 15 years later, went back to it and went, "Oh, that was better than I remembered." And then, like
yeah.
7 years later, went back to it and said, "Oh, this is pretty good actually." And then have
Mhm.
watched it twice in the last 6 months,
Yeah,
and his breakdowns have been delicious. But the reason I bring it up is uh, it's really fascinating because part of what makes it really enjoyable, if you haven't seen it in a while, is the complete and utter emasculation of Tom Cruise, and it is. It
who
is
probably didn't know it when he was filming it.
right. And it's wild to watch. And I actually think it's Cruise's best acting.
Oh
And,
wow.
but it's like I've had to catch up to what was going on. And then if you go back and you look at 1999, he's in Eyes Wide Shut and Magnolia, which are possibly
Oh,
his two best performances. And
yeah,
then
interesting.
after that, it's just like Mission Impossible, another Mission
Yeah,
Impossible. I'm an action
yeah,
man. I'm a man. I'm a man.
yeah, yeah. Really, like he's just been running so hard for so long to be a man. Let it
Oh,
go, dude.
mate, it is when he gets like this is one of the things that Kubrick does well, which and these things aren't talked enough about with good directors when they get an actor and they kind of use your knowledge of the actor against you.
Hmm.
It's it's like in Interstellar. Michael Caine says, you got to trust me. And you go, yeah, of course I trust you. Michael Caine. You go, oh, no, he's a piece of shit. He's been lying the whole time. Or then they say, Dr. Man's the best of us. And it turns out it's Matt Damon.
Yeah.
You go, Matt Damon is the
Yeah,
best of
yeah,
us. And you go, no, he's not. He's a piece of shit as well. And Kubrick using Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise. Like now that I'm older, Nicole Kidman's really sexy in this film, but
yeah.
never in any of the scenes with Tom. And it is fascinating to watch. And there is
Oh,
a moment
interesting.
when he's wandering the streets and a group of guys just kind of smash him to one side and throw all these homophobic slurs at him. And it's Tom Cruise. Normally he'd get up and beat all seven of them to death, but instead he's really shaken and wanders off, still questioning who he is and why he can't satisfy his wife. And
Uh,
it's a deceptively I don't know what it is about Kubrick, but some of his best films have left me so ice cold the first time I've witnessed them, and
yeah.
then over time they just niggle back in here, and then like,
Hmm.
hey, have you thought about this and have you thought about that, and then suddenly you're interviewing a screenwriter about Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, right. I maybe I'll go back and watch it. I haven't seen it in a while.
Mm.
The conspiracy theories around that one are amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There,
yeah,
he definitely knew some shit.
yes,
Absolutely, he knew some
yeah,
shit.
yeah. And what a time for people to check it out. And I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe there might be something in the ether that you might want to apply to it. Don't know. I don't know. Dave, what do you have coming up?
Uh, we're touring. The Dollop is touring in March 22nd. We go out. It's an East Coast run, so like Buffalo and DC and Philly and Connecticut. For some reason, that was a bad idea. New York sold out, but yeah, go look at dollopodcast.com. We have a lot of tour stuff there.
And find all the news. All right. Thanks for checking in with me, Dave. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, always.
Thank you to Dave for joining me today and discussing everything that's going on in the world. It's turning out to be one of your favorite segments, and I can see why. It's always good to touch base with our American correspondent. And if you're curious to see what his son's arm is like, go and check it out online. It is super impressive. It really is a cannon. So that definitely was the best thing that I've seen in a while. And racists getting knocked out. I kind of like that as well. Just a couple of other things. We discussed the newsletter at the start of the podcast. Over at Substack, there is a new chapter in the ongoing memoir that I'm writing, One Foot in the Spotlight. That is a chapter that revolves around the lessons that I learned on the night that when I was performing back in 1994 at my third ever gig, when everyone tried to do jokes about Kurt Cobain dying. And yeah, suffice to say, it did not go well with the sold out audience. And I did not make those jokes, but I did witness it and the lessons I learned from that night. So a stark moment in history. And I think you might find it interesting. There's also free blogs over there. The Dispatches from the Fury Road blog are all free. But if you like my writing, you can head over there, find short stories as well. If you are looking for more audio, there are bonus podcasts up at Patreon that are only for subscribers. There's some live shows. There's some works in progress that you can witness. Witness? You can just watch. You don't have to witness them. And over at the YouTube page, which is slowly building, I'm slowly getting there. There's just so much to do. You can find a live show and you can find this podcast as a video. Coming up on Thursday, Alexei Toliopoulos returns to talk movies and we discuss our Wuthering Heights experience. And look, I'm just going to say it now. If you're a big fan of the book, you will probably find it really frustrating because I've seen one version of the movie and Alexei is not that married to adaptations. So if you are a die-hard Wuthering Heights fan, you may find our reaction to the film to be kind of annoying. Like, we both kind of enjoyed it for different reasons. I will say now, I really think, and I say this in the podcast, I really think it's a sexy movie for people who have had sex 3 times. Make of that what you will. We also talk about It Was Just an Accident and Surat, and we touch on a couple of other movies as well, including Alexi's experience with Baz Luhrmann. So that's coming up on Thursday. And then next week, Garth Jones will be back and we will be talking books and graphic novels. And I will also be putting up my interview with Michael Oken, who is a New York screenwriter, author, who has an Instagram page that I absolutely love. And he is fantastic. So that's what you can look out for in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I reckon that's enough for now. I hope you're well. I hope you're looking after yourself. And yeah, if you're looking for any more stuff for me, go to justinhamilton.com.au. You'll find links for YouTube, you'll find links for Substack, you'll find links for Patreon, and you'll find the links to whatever social media I'm on. I would suggest Instagram. If you kind of want to follow me on the socials, that's probably the one that I'm at the most. And you know what? I've got a photo up at the moment where I am fitting into a suit that I did not fit into 18 months ago. Yes, I nearly gave that suit away. I did. I was so close. I was so close. It was just making me so depressed, and I've lost a bit of weight. And I thought, I wonder if I can fit back into the suit. And boom, I got into it. It was great. I could even sit down in it. What a win. So, yeah, Instagram's probably the page to find me. Okay. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Feel free to write to me and, let me know what's going on. And as always, until then.